A police officer dressed as a sex wrestler to trap a suspect. Mysterious drones shut down some runways at a New York airport. And a DJ has been hospitalized after being stabbed by a stripper. These are the weird stories for Monday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast in the known physical three-dimensional universe. A police officer dressed up as a sex wrestler in order to trap a suspect. Can you imagine going undercover as a sex wrestler? Today I learned that there are sex wrestlers. I had no idea. Kinks, man. Kinks. We have here a Thai police officer. This is in Thailand. The officer dressed up as a BDSM sex wrestler to fulfill the twisted request of a suspect that was wanted over alleged sexual crimes. Now, this is exactly what you want in a police officer, this sort of dedication. This Thai police officer dressed as what's called a BDSM sex wrestler. Has anyone ever heard of this? He dressed as a BDSM sex wrestler named Big Bear. Hilarious. He had a wrestling name? I was going to guess he had some maybe different wrestler names, like Sergeant Pat Me Down. I wonder what his finishing move was. Probably I don't want to know his finishing move, and I definitely don't want to see it. He dressed up as Big Bear, the sex wrestler, to entrap a suspect wanted over alleged sex crimes. Police Captain Ponlawat Nakthomya and his colleagues had been hunting this sex crime person, Su Jing Rui, age 31. They were tracking him, but were unable to pin him down in Bangkok. A female decoy was initially used, but Su, who was from China, pulled out. Pulled out? That could mean so many things. Pulled out and said he would only meet if a bizarre fetish was fulfilled by a heavy-set wrestler. Okay, so the female was she's like, oh, I'll wrestle you. And he's like, nah, I want a big bear. I want a big hairy one. I want a big man that can really put me in a headlock. You know what I mean? No pun intended on that headlock line. All right, so after the female officer couldn't get in with him undercover, Mr. Ponlawat, the captain, agreed to the dangerous mission. The female officer set it up. She told Sue that she had an amateur wrestler friend called Big Bear, and they agreed to meet at a hotel. Oh, I can satisfy your kinks, sir. It just so happens I have a friend called Big Bear. He's a sex wrestler. He's into it. He's gonna give you what you want. I wonder if this other cop just couldn't wait to bust out this getup here. Guys, this looks like it's going to be a hard case to crack. I really think now's the time to try out my sex wrestler outfit. But, Captain, this is for speeding tickets. Yeah, I think it would be appropriate in this case to dress up as Big Bear. For the case. Yeah, just for the case. Strictly professional. I'm doing this for the job. Why do you have a Big Bear wrestler outfit? No, never mind. Never mind that. So the meeting took place, and hidden camera footage shows the dramatic moment Mr. Ponlawat opened the door in a black singlet and a Satan mask. There's a photo of him. Yes, he's a bear. He's a big bear. And I don't know what the Satan mask is all about, but maybe that's part of the getup. It's part of his wrestling character. The wrestlers always have to have a character. Okay. So when he opened the door in the black singlet and a Satan mask as the wrestler Big Bear, this prompted an exciting howl from the suspect. I'd like to hear that howl, to be honest with you. In that context, that might be pretty funny. On second thought, maybe I don't want to hear that excited howl from the suspect when he saw Big Bear in his singlet. Seconds later, armed police hiding in the wardrobe leaped out to bundle Sue onto the bed and handcuff him. I like that they used the verb bundle. They bundled him. You mean you cuffed him? You hogtied him? They bundled him on the bed, and I'll bet he let out another excited squeal while that was going on, because it just seems like that's his category. We got a quote here from the Ponlawat guy. He says, I laughed when I was asked to wear the wrestling costume. I thought it was a joke at first, but when they insisted, I realized it was very real. I understood the seriousness of the situation because the suspect was wanted for crimes against women. I agreed and did my best to work with the team in order to catch the suspect. Officers detained Sue at the local station where he was hit with a barrage of alleged evidence. He was grilled over alleged upskirt pictures that were on his cell phone, complaints of some groping, and one count of some date rape. This guy he's doing upskirt pictures. He's going on date rape incidents, groping, and meeting up with sex wrestlers, male sex wrestlers. He's just like, he's got a problem. It's appropriate that they're getting him off the streets. It says Police Captain Ponlawat was very nervous, I'm sure. Or maybe he was having fun. Maybe he was, could be either one of those things. It says he was safe, though, the entire time. The team had 6 armed officers in total on the premises. They were planted in a wardrobe on the balcony and outside the door. It says here the officers will be commended for their work. And once again, we're learning about another fetish here on Weird AF News. I'm bringing a lot of these sorts of kinks to light, introducing them to a wider community. I'm not proud of it. This is just what's happening in the world of weird news. Who knew? I've never heard of the sex wrestling thing, but I do have a personal story of someone that I know, a woman who was, her friend hired her to, they were doing this not undercover, but it was underground boxing of men. They boxed men. Men wanted, this is in New York City, men were paying to box a very attractive woman in a bikini. So someone I know very well agreed to do this, and she did it once, and it was kind of normal. She said she just boxed a guy. The second time, the boxer asked her to hit him in the junk and other things, and she was pretty horrified, and she never did it again. So that sort of stuff is happening, apparently. I never see it. I just sometimes hear about it. I don't want to, but I have to. And I have to report to you. It's just part of my gig. Mystery drones have forced a New York airport to shut down. Have you heard about these drones? A lot of people are talking about it. I almost didn't cover this because it's become mainstream now, but it is kind of weird enough, I think. I was talking about it with a bartender at the comedy club last night, and I thought, you know what, maybe I'll cover this. The mysterious drones, if you don't know, they've been plaguing the skies over the Northeast, specifically over the New Jersey, New York area. And they have shut down the runways of one particular airport. Stewart International Airport was shut Friday night. And this prompted the governor to demand that the feds step in and do something about this, as there's mounting concern as these unidentified drones have been hovering over New Jersey for nearly a month. They've been seen in some other places in the Northeast as well. New York, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Massachusetts. They were spotted flying over LaGuardia International Airport, Newark Liberty International Airport. It says here there has been an investigation launched by the FBI and other law enforcement agencies. The FBI claims that it has received over 3,000 tips related to these drone sightings, with most of the observations occurring at night. Looks like we have no answers, though. I'm going to say it's probably a viral marketing campaign for maybe some new War of the Worlds type sci-fi film. Has anyone thought about that? It could just be Elon Musk being a pervert of some sort, just trying to peek into people's bedrooms with drones. I don't know. Or it's Russia, or it's China, or it's probably something very boring, like just some kind of basement nerd who just got his allowance, bought some drones, just having a nerdy time in the skies. Need to get this guy a girl. Authorities have no idea where they're coming from, it seems. They're saying anyways, who knows. They are investigating each drone sighting report that they receive and sharing information with their federal and local law enforcement partners. The New York State Police have said no evidence at this point that any of the reported sightings actually pose a public safety threat of any sort. The FBI and Department of Homeland Security said in a joint statement that there was, quote, no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or public safety threat or have a foreign nexus either. How do you come out and say it doesn't pose any sort of threat, but also you don't know what it is? All right. The unknown is more frightening than the known. I have a feeling they know what it is. And, you got to probably do something about it. Otherwise, you're going to have citizens freaked out and probably shooting them down. In Florida, they would have shot them down already. That's how Florida operates. I kind of admire Florida in that way. They shoot first and ask questions later down there. So this would have been handled already. Yeah. It would help if the government could just really assuage our fears. Like, tell us what it is so that, conspiracy theories don't thrive in the culture, which lately that seems to be the case. There's a lot of fuel for conspiracy theories these days. I don't know why. People seem to be out of their minds and aren't really using rationale. So people be thinking I've seen comments about this is an alien invasion, which it isn't an alien invasion. I mean, you got to be kind of, you must have worked yourself into a strange place to believe that it's an alien invasion. I mean, I hope it is, so I don't have to mail all those Christmas cards, but I don't think it is. The article goes on to say, meanwhile, on Friday night, President-elect Donald Trump spoke out in favor of shooting down these mysterious drones if necessary, while suggesting that the Biden administration was withholding information about the sightings. He could be right. I mean, I don't think we all should be just whipping out our AR-15s and blasting them, but I would bet that the current administration knows exactly what's going on with these things. Maybe some of my listeners have an opinion on this. Call the show, 646-450-2012.
Hey, Todd, Daddy, how you doing?
A DJ has been hospitalized after being stabbed by a stripper. This story is out of Portland, Oregon, the stripper capital of the United States. Did you know that? There's more strip clubs per capita in Portland, Oregon than any other city in the country. I found out. I've never been, but it's on my bucket list. The article begins by saying, after undergoing multiple hours-long surgeries, this poor Portland DJ is recovering at a medical center after being stabbed by his coworker, a stripper. Stabbed in the back, it says, 4 times. This occurred on Sunday night. Duncan Allen has worked as a DJ at the Casa Diablo vegan strip club. Vegan strip club? What is that? I've never heard of a vegan strip club. Are the strippers vegans? Is this plant-based strippers? I don't know if I want plant-based strippers. I don't want my strippers, low on iron. I want them to be thick and strong and able to, all right, I'm not going to get into it, but you can understand. Like, I think the best lap dance is after she's had a steak and potatoes kind of meal. Is what I'm thinking in my. All right, let's keep reading this. It's a Casa Diablo vegan strip. Is it also a Mexican restaurant with a devil theme? What is this place? I need to go. Okay, so the DJ and the stripper worked at Casa Diablo vegan strip club for over a decade. Or the DJ worked for over a decade. He said he's seen a thing or two during his time. Yeah, I'm sure you have. Anyone working at a strip club or even hanging out at a strip club for 10 years is going to see a thing or two during that time. Says, however, he never thought he would leave work in an ambulance with some stab wounds or that he would have the footage to prove it. And the DJ gives a play-by-play. He says, I was on my computer getting some songs ready, and next thing I know, I felt like a 500-pound man punch me in the back, basically as hard as humanly possible. So I turned around, expecting there to be a large man about to fight me, and it was her, the dancer. She was standing there holding the knife. I still didn't know I was stabbed at that point, but then I took a breath in. And realized my left lung had collapsed. As shocked as he was, the DJ knew he had to stay calm to avoid his lung filling with blood too quickly before the medics arrived. Paramedics later told the DJ he was just minutes away from drowning in his own blood. But why? Why did she stab him? Was the DJ not playing her song that she requested? Like, that's not the song I want, Barry. If you play Cherry Pie one more time, I swear. If you play Fat Bottom Girls one more time, you're going to get it. What could have gone on? It says here, while the DJ was focused on staying calm, in the back of his head he was left wondering why the stripper attacked him completely unprovoked. According to the owner of the club, Johnny Diablo. Johnny Diablo, that's like the ultimate strip club owner name. Johnny Diablo says he was just as shocked because the dancer, now identified by authorities as Peyton Lathan, had worked for him for 10 years. Well, you must know her. What's her deal? Is she on some serious psych medications or needs them? Or she's on drugs and drug paraphernalia? She's probably going to need a new stripper name at this point, like Miss Slasher or Amy the Blade, Cut Up Krista, Starla Stabs a Lot. What about Stabarella? Coming to the stage, Stabarella. We got another quote from the owner here continuing on this stripper, he says she was always a little off, but she never exhibited signs of violent tendencies. She definitely had a mental health crisis. I think she had intended to kill somebody, and it just happened to be DJ Duncan. And when I think about it, when she was in the dressing room for about 10 minutes, she seemed like she was possessed by a demon. Oh, and you didn't have any mind to maybe tell her to step outside and get some fresh air, or maybe look into it? How about get security? You said she's acting like a demon. Although they do have Diablo in the title of this strip club, so maybe acting like a demon in the dressing room is usually tolerated, among other things. No meat, though. You can act like a demon in the dressing room, but you can't have bacon. Now, it says here the authorities say that the stripper Lathan was found hiding in some bushes alongside the road as police were escorting DJ Allen's ambulance to the hospital at the time. Police pulled over and arrested the 29-year-old stripper. She's facing 2 assault charges as well as a charge for unlawful possession of a weapon. What about attempted murder? If you stab somebody it said 4 times in the back. It's at least 1. Sounds like attempted murder to me. It says, according to the court documents, Lathan, the stripper, told the police repeatedly during her arrest that she is, quote, pleading insanity. And she also said, that man, that DJ, is a drug dealer. Well, yeah, of course, he's a DJ at a strip club. They're all drug dealers. You think they can pay the bills by DJing at a strip club several nights a week? I don't think so. Also, just another news flash, the bouncer at a strip club, also a drug dealer. Are we all aware? We're not all living in the dark about these details in life, are we? DJ Allen, it says here, denies the claims that he's a drug dealer. He said he would like to see concerning behaviors taken more seriously around here. Buddy, it's a strip club. He believes, had someone spoken up about Lathan's behavior beforehand, acting like a demon in the dressing room, she may have never gotten the chance to attack him in the first place. He's right. The DJ says, quote, she could have cracked my ribs. She could have stabbed me in the kidney. She could have stabbed me in the neck. She could have stabbed me in the spine. Wow. What other places? She could have stabbed me in the back of the ear. She could have stabbed me in the earlobe. She could have stabbed me in my bald spot at the top of my head. I'm not proud of that. I don't want anyone to bring attention to it, so I would rather you don't stab me in the bald spot. She could have stabbed me in the buttocks. He says, quote, if I have to be honest with you, I think she should get charged the highest because the fact is this was premeditated. If it's premeditated, you guys probably have some history there, and so maybe it has to do with you dealing her drugs or something. He is right, though. I mean, it's kind of attempted murder, it seems to me. We'll just have to wait and see how this unfolds. I'll try and keep you updated on the DJ being stabbed by a stripper at the vegan strip club story. Meanwhile, maybe we can get a nice hip-hop song out of this. I got stabbed by a stripper. She popping, she twerking, she rolling, she playing. Oh no! And now she's slaying. Now I'm on the floor and I'm crying. I was stabbed by a stripper. I need that auto-tune to make this work, I think. I'm still playing on my records. Stabbed by a stripper. The dancers still be dancing. Stabbed by a stripper. Hey everybody, it's your host, Jonesy. Thanks for spending some time with the Weird AF News podcast. Appreciate the support and your ongoing listenership. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so you can get more of this. Or if you don't want more of this, then you can go away and don't subscribe. That's the other option. Please don't write a bad review, though. Come on now. Don't take time out of your day for that nonsense. Why would you do that? You don't even know me. Anyways, just want to say real quick, I had an amazing night last night. I thought I'd share a little anecdote about a show. One of the shows I did last night was at a marijuana dispensary in Hollywood owned by Woody Harrelson. And when I walked in, I was alone in this spot, and I turned to my right, and I see Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey just chilling at the bar. I had a couple of words with them, and so that was pretty cool. I have to say, Matthew McConaughey, gorgeous in real life, unbelievable. What a beautiful man. I couldn't look away. It was just really hard. He looks exactly like he looks on TV. He looks like, just handsome man. The shirt unbuttoned a little bit. Everything was perfect. Wow, it was pretty wild. Anyways, it's probably the most famous person I've ever seen in real life. I met Bruce Springsteen in New York. I don't know if he's more famous than Matthew McConaughey. I don't think so. Anyways, pretty cool night. And had a great show at the dispensary. And there's a lot of shows at weed spots here in LA, and there's such a good time. Of course, you don't expect things like that to happen, but that just made it. That was just the cherry on top, baby. anyways, some due diligence. I'm going to post some calls after this from some quirky listeners that you probably recognize. And if you want to call the show, it's 646-450-2012. If you want to support the show for the holidays, join the Patreon or buy me a coffee for Christmas. You can go to weirdafnews.com and do all of that. And with every individual that buys me a coffee or makes a donation via PayPal or joins the Patreon, Michael from Iowa City will donate $1 per person. So as we do the holiday, I don't know what he calls it, the holiday support for Weird AF News and Jonesy. So anyways, that's we're in the midst of that. So go to weirdafnews.com if you'd like to participate in that, and I will see you tomorrow, and good luck with your life, man.
Oh, Pod Daddy, give me more of that gustation interface. Yeah. Oh, Pod Daddy, good luck with your life, man. Hey, Jonesy, it's Lily. I think that you should give some credit to the dollar store pregnancy tests because I've never had one be wrong. I've had a $17 test be wrong. I've had a $27 test be wrong. But the dollar store ones have always known when I was pregnant and have always told me. And they've told me when I wasn't pregnant and they've told me when I was. And they've been right every time. The more expensive tests have been wrong before. So I'm just saying, I think you should give some credit to the dollar store pregnancy tests. I don't know about everything else that they sell at the Dollar Tree. I would not trust the sushi. I would not trust a lot of the canned goods that look expired. I would not trust the steak in the frozen food section. You got to be careful at the Dollar Tree. But the pregnancy tests have never been wrong. And even when I was had appointments with my doctors and stuff about pregnancy, my midwives would say, just get the dollar store ones. That's all you need. Their pregnancy tests are, federally regulated so that they all have to have certain, I want to say ingredients, but that's not right. Components. They all have to have certain components that make them up. Only certain things can go into them and certain things have to be in there. So they're all basically the same. So at CVS, Walgreens, whatever store you're at, whatever pharmacy, they can charge you $1, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40, $50. They can market it however they want to. They can tell you that this test is better, this test is early, blah, 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 blah. That's all just marketing and spin and buzzwords. The Dollar Tree ones are just as good. So there's never any need to pay more than $1 for one of those tests. And honestly, that's one of the things I think is important that the Dollar Tree has, for homeless women or, women that are lesser means or whatever, don't have the money to spend on a test, that they can just go into the Dollar Tree and buy one for $1. I mean, that's pretty nice, honestly. Also, state of Texas is wild, trying to ban sex and sex paraphernalia. So, take your hands off my sex toys. Leave me alone. All right, Jonesy. Love you. Keep it up. Good luck with your life, man.
It's your favorite mama from the Midwest. I haven't even finished listening to the episode from Thursday. I listened to them the day after because that's how my Google works. Anyway, but I wanted to let you know that the reason they're going to ban this particular sex toy in Texas is because if these Republican lawmakers, men, I'll just call them men generally, if they can't find the clitoris, they don't want anybody else to. Am I right? Yeah, they will ban anything that will bring any kind of a woman pleasure or will stand them up and let them know, hey, if you can't find this, you don't want a toy too either. It's emasculating. So here's hoping that any other male weirdos out there can find the clitoris, because once you do, all right, I'm not going to finish that statement because I'm in the parking lot of my work establishment, and dear God, I hope nobody hears me. So cheers, everybody, and happy Friday.